You saw the red flags and you left, and they wish they could leave too. You left a situation where maybe more than one person felt trapped. Could have been a job, it could have been something else. Someone is watching you, wondering what your secrets are. They want to talk to you about that. And they want to be sneaky. Could be upper management. Yeah, you just made a move that a lot of people are watching. Let me get some more cards. If this is for you, you know what it's about, and not every reading is going to resonate, but feel free to listen anyway. But someone wants to know how you got out of this. It was a terrible situation that people feel very tricked into. Wow. You know, it's sad because people go through life being so insensitive, saying, you knew what you're getting yourself into. Well, no, they didn't. You don't always know. You don't know what you're getting yourself into until you're there. And anyone who really goes around saying that has a lot of karma coming back to them because they're going to find out. Gossip spread, love triangle. It's complicated. Attachment issues. Were you won over by a different department? It doesn't have to be romantic, although it could be. But there's a lot of gossip. Somebody has heard something. They want to know what caused you to unattach, and they wonder if they have attachment issues. A lot of talk. In fact, it could be a bunch of people, like 20 or so people, suddenly put you on an email list, put you in a group chat. All of a sudden, you're wondering, why did this happen? It's because someone heard something about you. Like, why are they watching me? They want to know your secret. And it might make you paranoid. It shouldn't. Really, it's being done with reverence, and I'm not saying anyone has the right to be watching you or anything, but what I mean is whoever's doing this isn't trying to cause you harm. They're talking because they feel very trapped in this situation, and they just want to know what you did. Here's the Money Moves Oracle deck. Maybe you left to start working for yourself. Gosh. Say less, though. But what you need to understand is a lot of people are hiding their feelings, and they wish they could do what you did or what you're planning to do. Mind power, wrong decision. Is the power in your mind? Yes, I believe so. Manifest a new beginning. That's what you need to tell these people. Maybe you did, and that's why you're leaving. They feel like their wrong decision led them into a trap. See, this trap is opened up, but they don't feel like it's open for them. They feel like it was a wrong turn. Yeah, someone feels really played. You might be the first one to leave this bad situation. Copycat, haunted, fake smiles. I knew that would come out. Giving money, legal issues. You guys, okay, some of you, your company's in trouble, and they haven't told you that yet. You're going to find out by the end of the week or the end of the month, and it sucks. I've been at companies before, too, where they laid off right before Christmas. I mean, technically, you usually don't see that stuff until after the end of the year, after Q4, but I worked at a company once where, yeah, it was December 23rd or 24th, and there were people getting walked out. Upper management, 4 vice presidents. I'll never forget that. It was a high-level slaughter. But I'm getting reminded of that for a reason, because I haven't thought about that in 20 years, okay? So that must be for this reading. And if it's not that, it's something similar. But I'm going to tell you what happened at this company I worked for. And I'm allowed to talk about this. Nothing secret. It was pharmaceutical, clinical trials, clinical research. It was in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham. Like, if you know that area, you know what I'm talking about. It's big on clinical research. And I'm telling you this is for this reading because I'm getting into this giving money, legal issues, haunted copycat. So you have company A, a clinical research company, and it had all these contracts with these big pharmaceutical companies, which was a big deal. Company B comes in and swallows it up, which happens a lot in pharma, clinical research. Company B swallows it up because they wanted those contracts, okay? Well, Company B here actually didn't have the best reputation, but they saw an opportunity. So they swallowed up Company A to get those contracts. Well, Company C comes along, wants to acquire Company B now, because that's how it goes. Pharma, clinical research, it's all like the big fish constantly eating the smaller fish all the time. Company B had done that, had bought Company A because they wanted to sell. The equity people, the private investors, wanted to sell to somebody. And you see, these are massive pharmaceutical contracts. I'm not going to tell you the companies, but I know they are pharmaceutical companies that you have heard of because they make billions of dollars on medicine prescriptions. Company B had made a certain pharmaceutical company so mad that they said they wouldn't work with them again. But Company B thought they could bypass that by acquiring Company A with all these big contracts. Company C comes along. That's when it all comes out that Company B was never supposed to have those contracts to begin with. The vice presidents Also, right down the hall from where I was, a friend of mine had to overstate revenue only because she was told that by the vice president. It wasn't her fault. That's why the vice president got walked out. But she had to overstate revenue by a lot. I mean, it was a lot. When they found out about this merger, like, I don't know how they would try to keep that quiet. I don't know. But they tried. And I'm just saying, December 24th of that year, 20 years ago, probably more than 20, I'll never forget, because I was timesheet administrator for the whole company, like 900 people, I don't remember now, but I knew everybody in the company. These 4 vice presidents on December 24th were all on the termination list, okay? I see them getting walked out with their plans. We all saw it. It's because they overstated that revenue. They deserved it. They completely deserved it. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars here in the mix, okay? When I talk about this trap, a lot of people felt trapped there. A lot of people felt trapped by those contracts. This could be a very coercive situation where a manager or somebody is trying to get you to stay. And I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen this happen. In fact, same pharmaceutical company. I mean, they're a big one, okay? They're a big one. I went to another company. I was in the accounting department, by the way. But I just happened to end up two or three companies later, I ended up working at a place that was also working with that big pharmaceutical company. Well, we had this one manager. Well, pretty much all of our eggs were in that basket, revenue-wise. When I went for an interview, I'd always look at their financial statement, because that's what I did for a living, was financial statements. I'd look at their revenue, everything. And I went in and I was like, that's your biggest client, like 95%. And I'm like, what are you going to do if you lose that big client? And they kind of got mad at me for asking, but guess what? About a year and a half later, that's exactly what happened. Because I had worked with that pharma before, and I know how they are. Let me tell you, you think these big companies don't have feelings? Oh my gosh. That world, you think it would be bigger, but it's not. It's a very small world with a lot of bruised egos and a lot of contracts that go wrong. It was this one manager, that second company I'm talking about, this one manager, oh my gosh, she really made him mad. I knew something was going on because suddenly she resigned. Oh, it was not a resignation. Oh my gosh. The stories I could tell about what I've seen in corporate America. Because people in these big jobs will fight for those jobs. And that's what she was doing. This woman talked her way into a job that was just too big for her. And even this vice president, like this guy who told my friend to increase the revenue, it was crazy. Because she asked him, she's like, are you sure you want me to do this? He's like, oh yeah. Because they needed those numbers to be high. Well, they bought the company. I mean, they paid $1 billion. They paid $1 billion for the company. I'm sorry. I forgot all about this. It's been so long. They paid $1 billion for a company that had overstated revenue by many millions, many. And then the contracts went away as soon as they found out. Oh my gosh. I just want to let you know, don't let corporate America or corporate anywhere, because you might not be in America. Don't let anything corporate make you feel like you got to stay there. And I've seen people get stuck in these positions because they're making this huge 6-figure salary. They're not going to make it anywhere else. That's where the matrix gets you. People misquote the Bible all the time and say money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And it's not about the love of money. It's the fact that when people get into these big jobs, let's say you're making $300,000 a year, usually people get into debt. They're usually not saving. And I mean, it's just the regular person. I know everybody's going to say, well, you should do this, you should do that. Well, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm telling you what people actually do, and they usually don't know enough to shelter their money from taxes. Most people don't know what I'm telling you right now. I have a very bad feeling because I've heard a lot of weird things going on in our economy. I know this is happening. I saw it happen during the '08 recession. The big jobs usually go first. Like at that company I worked for, and I've seen it so many times. Like when you see them let go of a VP or a chief officer of some sort, layoffs are usually coming. And don't be scared. Manifest a new beginning. Stop looking out here in this 3D reality. Like I said, it's not about the love of money. It's the fact that people just get themselves into mortgages and bills and they think that money's going to come in forever. And suddenly it just goes away. I'm just imagining that this situation works out because I'm just sensing a lot of fallout here. Families, people affected. It's just really sad. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what somebody's going through. How should you respond? Peacemaker. New life. Challenge accepted. Focus on your new life. May all these other people focus on theirs as well. It's not your job to help everybody. Help yourself first. You have to. But you need to know, anybody watching you, it's because they want to know how you got out of this. And they're jealous. And they're haunted. Ugh, I'm actually sensing a whole lot of pain from this. Please have mercy on these people, even if they're making a ton of money. I know everybody wants to eat the rich, right? You don't know who the rich actually are. A lot of people really don't know what they're talking about. I know, there are no ethical billionaires, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all those people in the middle here. People who just happen to be doing really well and suddenly they're not, and it's not their fault. Last card. You are unstoppable. Focus on you. Focus on you. And just let your life be a living example. Don't worry. Don't look back. Make peace. And please know that you are unstoppable. It is spoken. It is written. And so it is. Amen.